Do you know that the most common way for a male to die in this country between the ages of 15 and 44 is by their own hand? There's a mental health crisis going on here in Australia. I'm sad to say, but men are leading the charge. I want to share some Australian stats with you about suicide. We lose 6.5 men every day in this country to suicide, and that's over 2,300 men a year, and that's twice that of the national road toll. What you might not know is for every suicide, there's 30 attempted suicides. That's 72,000 men a year. Scary. And I think one of the main reasons why the suicide and depression rates are so high is society's expectations of men and how we should act and behave, but the definition of what masculinity is. Because we've been told we should be strong and tough and hard and sometimes even violent when it's required. And a lot of us have been raised to believe that we shouldn't show our emotions or our feelings, that we shouldn't ask for help or cry, and we definitely shouldn't ask for directions, right? So how do we cope with these expectations that are thrust upon us? Well, that's simple. We put on a man mask. And a man mask is the face we show to the rest of the world that we're tough and strong and everything's okay. In reality, we're actually struggling with pain, hurt, depression, sometimes even trauma. We take all that hurt, that pain, that emotional trauma, we stuff it down as far as we can. We try to ignore it. But if you push on something long enough and hard enough, pretty soon it's going to start to push back. I call that the volcano effect. And what happens is the pressure becomes so much that cracks start to form. And out seeps your emotion in the form of depression or anxiety. Or it simply just explodes. And it explodes through anger, rage, violence, or hate. We don't know how to deal with this pain that builds up inside of us. We're just not sure what to do. So what do we do with that pain and that hurt? We try and numb it. And we numb it any way we know how. Drugs, alcohol, sex, porn, gambling, TV, video games. So at the age of 20, I put on my first man mask and I pretended I was okay and strong, and I lived like that for the next 30 years with nothing but depression. I felt like a failure and I felt like a fraud. Could you imagine a society full of men who are respectful, honest, integral, passionate, authentic, emotionally strong and vulnerable? Oh my God,